Hello and welcome back to Robbie's Arcade. Today we want to look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This 4-player arcade game, the first time I ever came across it was on a seaside holiday growing up as a kid. And when I first came across it, I was just blown away. Technologically speaking, it was incredibly advanced. Notwithstanding the fact that it is a movie license, that it somehow managed to become a good game, which is a rare treat, it really has to be said. But on top of that, it was a 4-player arcade game that was cooperative. So what you ended up with was a giant arcade cabinet that had 4 control sticks, or joysticks, and 4 sets of buttons, and everyone could work together. This wasn't like Street Fighter 1-on-1 and Mortal Kombat, finish him. This was about players working together, with the added bonus that it was featuring an enormous franchise at the time, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise, or in the UK, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. We had a thing against ninjas, I don't know why. Anyway, so this game, there's many reasons why it is still remaining incredibly popular, and then on top of that, the fact that it was re-released in several different versions. It even made it onto digital networks such as PSN and Xbox Live in remastered versions. It is a thoroughly playable game. But straight away I'm going to be playing as Leonardo today, largely because unlike a lot of the games we play here that we've got full arcade access, this one locks individual controllers to individual characters. You can't actually choose who you want to be on a software level. You have to choose by selecting which joystick you're going to be utilising. Now we're going to go with 5 credits. I think that should be a good number. See how far we can get on 5 credits. It was a 2-button game with a jump and an attack. So, without further ado, let's get in. Oh, check out that music. Unbelievable. Tried to stay as faithful as possible, obviously, to the original making of it. And what we're doing right now is trying to save April O'Neil, who was very good at getting herself in stuck. Now, one of the early things that hit me as a kid when I played this game was the fact that the enemies. Now, it was the first time I'd seen a game be, quite frankly, rather lazy about its graphics and sprites. The game had many types of enemies, but they were effectively just the same layout as the others. Just a complete colour change. There were slightly bigger enemies and, of course, bosses that hopefully we will reach in these 5 credits. But the game itself is actually extraordinarily hard. Even straight away, I'm already noticing that they really don't ease up on you. It would be interesting to see just how many enemies appear on screen when there's 4 of you. Oh, that was Diffy, wasn't it? Well, there you go. 1 life down. But no, there's lots of facts about this game that make it very interesting. It's one of the early games which had quite a lot of Easter eggs and references to popular culture at the time. On the opening posters you saw about town, and on the side of the arcade there was a reference to the comic book The Watchmen by the sticker on the bottom of a skateboard. Wow, this is not fun. I don't remember this game being this hard as a kid, but then Crash Bandicoot was really getting on my nose recently. So maybe the old games really are the real games. I mean, I don't know what the arcade equivalent of Dark Souls is, but one day I'll find it, I'm sure. I'm going to do a quick pause there. I've got some facts about the game, obviously. It's always nice to learn a few bits and bobs about the game. Straight away, there are lines of dialogue that were left out of the game by different characters throughout the game. That's just bosses and the characters themselves. So, for example, you had characters saying stuff like, haha, toasted turtle, which is a bit sick. He's as hard as stone, ha ha ha, I'm stone, you idiot. I'm getting a lot of stone and mineral references. Likewise, the turtles themselves had a bunch of dialogue that was left out of the game. I'll be back, taste cold steel, that one's from me. That kind of thing, not exactly evocative, but I don't quite see the reason why they were never put on the game. But this information was pulled from the original game data. Likewise, the game itself has a Japanese subtitle. On the Japanese version of the game, that's actually a mistranslation. It just says Super Turtle Ninja, which is kind of weird given that this kind of style of animation and game creation harks very well from the East. Finally, in the game there's actually collectible items in the form of pizzas, But someone dipped very deep into the game data and found three more kinds of pizza. The Speedy, the Whirly, the Sappy, and of course the original enemy. People aren't hugely sure what these would have done. Would it would have sped the characters up, made them double strength, that sort of thing. And there's also an animation deep in the original ROM that's got Donatello, you know, purple one, science guy, with a gun of all things. So it's nice to. I do like hearing these backlog things about things that are found in the game in the background, and how they hark back to the original games themselves. Anyway, so carrying on, how are we doing? There's April O'Neil. I don't know what you've done, love, but you know you are in stuck. I'm getting the impression you're like Peter Parker's missus that was never ever out of trouble. Oh, there goes another one. I don't believe these are credits. Hopefully these are just individual lives. I want to see this through to at least a boss. But at the moment, again, it is still very hard. The graphics themselves are very good indeed. I'm by no means disappointed by the graphics on this game. You have to bear in mind at the time that it was created, you know, 16-bit was still the rage. The SNES and the Mega Drive were still very much tippy top. There we go. Oh wow, that really did. I don't remember Bebop and Rocksteady being all that strong in the original cartoon. So and we have a machine gun. That's a bad message to put out there. They're going to start harking on about using ninjas, the term ninjas, and the weapons like the sais and the nunchucks. But then I'm pretty sure that's the equivalent of an M4 being slung around there. Oh dear, oh dear. Here we go, right, we're down to one life on this continue. Let's have a look. Hopefully this guy's gone for a Burton soon. Of course, later on in the channel I will be looking at one of the other few 4-player cooperative games that came out around that time, a year or two later. And oh wow, you just let that happen, didn't you? Unbelievable. But we'll be looking at, of course, the Simpsons arcade game, which utilised the exact same technology, and that too was from Konami. So that idea of a 4-person dynamic, once again, Konami must have done extraordinarily well to get those licenses, because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles really was the go-to toy at that time. And likewise, the game itself is playable. So I mean, there's not many arcade titles I can think of over the last so many years that I would, you know, consider that playable. I mean, lots of arcade games that are based on movies, I mean. But stuff like the original Die Hard PlayStation 1 game, for example. Oh dear. Well, that is beyond irritating. But the original Die Hard trilogy on... Oh dear. I fear I'm out. And we're back in the room. So we've got 4 more continues left. I really should pay attention to what I'm doing and not just rabbit the whole time. So look, what do you do? Okay, you're a projectile weapon. I will remember that. Okay, these guys are already annoying. So as you can see, as I mentioned earlier on, the characters themselves, it really is just a very similar design. The thing is, I don't think that's done just for the sake of laziness. I do remember the cartoon not exactly being diverse about the foot soldiers. What I think is interesting there, and I don't know whether that's been written in to the AI in a specific way, but the way they gather around you. Oh, I believe that is my lot. So, there you go, that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you are interested in this game, do follow the links at the bottom. It will show you where you can get this ROM for you. But otherwise, if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to click like, and don't forget to go to the bottom to let me know the kind of games you want to see in Robbie's Arcade. Thanks for watching.